are the heartbeat of the earth, the hands that give life its worth. With every step, they break new ground, harvesting hope from all around. Through every season, through highs and lows, the untold journey, the heroes grow. Harvest heroes, rising strong, building tomorrow all day long.
Hello, guys. Welcome to episode 21 of Harvest Hero Podcast. Thank you so much, our faithful listeners. It is almost Christmas. I hope you're all prepared, ready for this wonderful December that is coming up. So, today we have a very special guest from Ghana. That is our country coordinator of Agricodeexpo Ghana that we would love to present to you guys. Thank you to our faithful listeners. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for all the love you sent by messages on LinkedIn and WhatsApp. Thank you so much, guys. So without wasting time, let's welcome our guest. Welcome, Mr. Asante. It's a pleasure to have you finally.
Hi, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here also.
Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence because it was very difficult to have you on this podcast. But thank you
I'm
for being here.
finally we are here.
By we are, guys. You don't know how struggle it was to have him answer present to the podcast. There's so much, they're so busy, and to be one
No,
of you
right.
guys not easy. So without wasting time,
Oh,
let's go directly to interview session. And can you
okay.
go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you very much. I am Asante Gideon Edison. Um, a tutor. I am a teacher by profession. I am a married man as well, and I just finished my postgraduate course. That's Masters in Education, Education Administration, and Planning. And currently, I am the country director of Agricodeexpo. Yeah, that's
Wow, that is just so inspiring. Like all the work you do and everything in general, it is just so inspiring. Guys, you will know why I'm asking this question later on in the interview. So the first question we have for you is what inspired you to pursue your career in the field you're actually working on?
Thank you very much for the question. I decided to go into education because I want to see an impact in our young generation. So that has been my passion all of this while. I want to make an impact to the young generation through the classroom. And then I think the best place that my impact can be directly felt is through the in the classroom. So growing up, any little opportunity that I get, I make sure that I use it to teach. So that is what motivates me to study educate, for education course, go back to the classroom, and then go and then impart the knowledge that we have to the next generation as well. Yeah.
That is you said it right. Impact the knowledge that we have to the next generation. And we really have
Sure.
to do that as future educators. So, my next question for you is what was that turning point in your career, in your life that made you say, okay, I want to be in the education sector, or I want to be a teacher, or I want to impact the youth of tomorrow?
I think it became clear to me when I got to SHS. Uh-huh. You know, all of this while right from basic school, I've been trying to help my students, but it wasn't really that wasn't really the focus. But it became clear to me when I got to the secondary school level. Virtually everything that the teacher would teach in the class, when the teachers are absent, I want to take the opportunity to help my colleague students. And then I think I realized that when it comes to teaching, I am very good in it. So I said, oh, okay. And I love doing it. One thing is the satisfaction that I get that motivates me to do it. So I really become so happy if I tend to help any of my colleagues to understand any complex issue or whatever. I become so happy. Then so I said, okay, if that's the case, if that is my passion, why don't I go into it full time? And then I would rather go to the classroom and then help these young ones to be able to develop, and then we help to develop them for our mother country. Yeah, so that's why So it became clear at my SHS level. So right when I was going for my university course, I decided to go and pursue education course so that I can get back to the classroom. Yeah,
Wow, thank you so much.
about that.
Education is really the future of tomorrow. And
You
also,
know,
also we know that education is the key of a, a better tomorrow for all youth
mhm.
around the world, especially in Ghana.
I
And
agree.
we
You
thank
know
you
it.
for the awesome work you're doing in Ghana. And
Thank
also,
you.
I want you to tell me, how is teaching in Ghana? How is the teaching career in Ghana?
Uh, um, this is a missed, it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Ghana is a developing country, so it may not be like the advanced country that they have all the resources, or they have most of the resources to impart this knowledge. But irrespective of the challenges and all those things, we are still doing our best. And then I think it's very satisfactory. Like, it's very interesting teaching in Ghana. Yeah. So so far so good. Everything is going on very, very well.
Thank you. And can you tell us a little bit about how is the education system in Ghana structured? Like, how is it structured?
Okay, yeah. Education structure in Ghana, we have the basic level. So that one, you have to spend 9 years at the basic school level from class one, we call it class one, up to JSS 3. JSS is junior high school 3. Then you'll be asked, or you have to take an exams. If you qualify, then you move to the senior high school level. That's the At the senior high school level, you have to spend 3 years. Initially, it was 4 years, but now it has go back to 3 years. So you spend 3 years over there. You get your WASI or West Africa. You take your West Africa Examination Council exams. If you qualify, then you can move ahead to any of the tertiary institutions, being it university, training college, nursing training, wherever you want to be. Then that'll be your career path now. Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's so
that's it.
interesting. So, at
Very
what
interesting.
age can someone actually go to a college or tertiary university in Ghana?
All right, that's interesting. It may differ, but averagely, I would say that. And now, interestingly, to God be the glory. Now we've understood the education very well. So, as early as at age 5 or 6, the child is already in class one. So, some at the age of 14, 15, then they are graduating from their SHS. Some even graduate as early as 13 years. They are out of secondary school, moving to the tertiary institution. Yeah, so that is what we are experiencing now. And then I know that with some years to come, it may even be lesser than that because as we are developing, the learning capacity of our children too are becoming so sharp. Yeah. So I think averagely between 13 to 15 years, most of them are prepared, getting ready to get into the tertiary institution.
That is so interesting because in other countries or around the world, it's at 18 that you are required to go to any tertiary education. So that is very interesting. So on that, I want to ask you: Is that what is your point of view on the educational system in Ghana? Do you think there's amelioration that can be done for to prepare the student more for this tertiary education?
Please kindly pardon me.
So my
Can you
question
please
was,
repeat? Mhm.
what do you think about this the education system in Ghana? Do you think there is some inputs we can there's something we can input to make it a better system to prepare the student more for the tertiary education?
Oh yes, yes. I think the first suggestion I'll make is and now let me quickly say this. Now a lot of we are doing a lot of review about our educational structure. So that review is underway. So I'm very sure that if that review is being completed now, it's going to extend the years of the students both at the basic and then the SHS level. So I think that will tend to, make them, by the time they get to the tertiary level, then they have appreciate in age as well. So um, aside what I've said, there is serious educational structure reviewing underway that we are currently implementing. I think they started at the basic level, and then they successfully implemented that side, and now the implementation is at the secondary level. So I'm very optimistic that after the end of this review and then restructuring of the education system, the years will be extended. The years that they are going to spend in the current education system will be extended, and then it will adequately prepare the students very well for the tertiary institutions as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for your input, because my thought on that was like, if I finish secondary school at 13, I cannot go and study abroad because it requires a minimum of 18 years old or 17 to be able to do any tertiary study. So that makes you limited to this sphere, to stay in the country or in that sphere till you arrive the minimum age required to enter any tertiary education around the world. So that
All
was a
right.
little bit
So
of my thought about it.
can I make a little input?
Yes.
The 13, 15 that I'm talking about is usually associated to the so-called elite parents. They tend to send their wards to school so early, so they try to break those bounds. But average, like when it comes to the less developed regions or whatever, they some can even grow as much as 20, 24 before they may be completing the SHS, that's the SS level before. So some even as at the age of 24 or 20 to 24 before they are entering into the tertiary institution. So the 13 to 15 that I was referring to is mainly about the elite parents. But when you go to the less deprived areas, most of them, because most of them don't even get the chance to go to school so early, so most of them, they tend to grow a bit before they even enter into the tertiary institution. So largely speaking, maybe I will say that most of them will get into the tertiary institution before after the 18 years. Yeah.
So that builds up on my next question. What is the minimum age required to go to school in Ghana?
Unfortunately, we don't have any standard set of years for students to enter into the school. So this is what happens. And the normal, ideally, you're supposed to be 6 years before you start your basic one. That's class one. But some people, if they are going to conduct a test, so if they're able to pass the test, the person may not be even up to the 6 years, but because they have been able to pass the test, they may be allowed to. You can't deny the person because of his age if he have the competency to perform well in that class. So that's the challenge. So there's no any standard how do I say, there's no any standard year that we said that you have to be this year before you be accepted at that level. But if you are if you can prove, or if you can pass your exams very well, you are allowed to. You are allowed to. Yeah, that is it.
Wow. Thank you so much for your input. 6 years,
Yeah.
it's a little bit late in many other
Yeah.
countries or sphere, because generally minimum is 4 years. But depending on the system, on the education, the age is required according to the teachings and the input they give to the child, which is so perfect. So our next
And
question is,
let me
yeah,
quickly add this.
yes.
We have the before you even get to basic school, we have the crèche, and then we
Mhm.
have the KG, kindergarten. So some people can even go to school as early as 2 years, 3 years, and they're already in the crèche, finally moving to kindergarten before getting to the basic school. So the 6 years that I'm talking about is the basic school class one, but not the year of starting school. So the person may be at crèche, kindergarten before going to the basic school. Yeah.
Okay.
So ideally, by the time you get to that basic school, then it means that by the time you pass through the crèche, the kindergarten, then you are almost going to year six, or like yeah, you are going to be 6 years old.
Okay, thank you so much for the input. So our next question is, what motivates you to keep going during challenging times? I know as a teacher, it's not easy. You have to deal with children. If you're teaching the kindergarten section, or the class 1 to class 6, and before the other stage. So what keeps you motivated in these challenging periods?
I think what kept me motivated, or what keep me moving is I'll say it's the passion, right? It's the passion. I quite remember after university, I've decided, when you come to Ghana, we have the northern part of Ghana and then we have the southern part of Ghana. And should I say, fortunately or unfortunately, the northern part is not as developed as the southern side. And this is as a result of several factors that I can't talk about here. So when I completed my university education, I could have choose to be at the south where I can get all the amenities and enjoy all the things. But because of the passion that I have for these little children, I I intentionally chose to go to the north to go and teach. So that now that I'm speaking with you, I'm at the northern region. And that has even given me a lot of exposure and experiences. And if I see these little children, especially coming from these deprived areas, I think fortunately for me, I am teaching. I am not at the basic school level. I am teaching at the secondary school level. So the students that I handle now, some of them have completed and they are the universities. Some are reading economics. Others are doing several like nice programs. So if they call me and then they are thanking me, that satisfaction it gives me to teaching is the only how do you say it is the only profession that we get direct satisfaction instantly. Your impact can be felt, and then this reminds me of this thing that we have in Ghana here, that the teaching profession. They said, if you can read this, thank a teacher. So this thing keeps on motivating me that let me help these young ones to make a difference in their lives so that we all help build Mother Ghana.
Wow, I definitely agree on that. The teachers are really, really the builders of tomorrow, because you have to build this youth up to be able to overcome and even accomplish whatever they dream of, but they have to start from somewhere, and you are the beginning of it all. So our next question is, what is one of your proudest moments you have had so far in your career, or in your journey in general?
Um, my one of my proudest moments will be the first batch of students that I've handled. Before I went, I am a teacher, economics teacher. Before I reported to the school, I was told, and we went for meeting, and then I was told that their performance, the performances of the students in economics hasn't been anything good to write home about. So that was what I was told. And then I put it upon myself that no, what is it that I can do to change that narrative? So I have to like my teaching methodology. I need to look at my teaching methodology, my teaching resources, and then the environment, the motivations, and all those things. I made them understand why they need to learn, and then I also did my best to break complex issues to their level, right? So to God be the glory. What makes me so proud is that I think just the first time that I took them, I think our pass rate increases. When we went, it was around 30%. When I went, it was around 30%. But I will not say it is by my might. I strongly believe in the power of God, and then so I can see clearly that it is the doing of the Lord. To God be the glory. We were able to the pass rate in that year, the year back that I took them, it increases to I think 82%. And we were maintaining that kind of performance and improving upon. So that's one of my proudest moments, that when I came there was a challenge, but to God be the glory, we are trying to solve it, and I'm hoping that very soon a year is coming, if not 100%, we will be able to take it to appreciable level. Yeah, that's it.
Wow, I'm sure you will be able to take it to an appreciate a level that you really, really want it to be. So, but our next question here is, who, in every stage there is always someone that inspire you to become what you are. So, who is that mentor that plays like a real impact in your life and in your career decision as a whole?
My greatest hero is my mom.
Tell us a little bit about how.
My mom was a single mother, and then she has to single-handedly cater for us. We have four. Then she has to single-handedly cater for all of us. So if you talk about my hero is my mom. Yeah.
Wow, that
So
is
if
very.
I am where I am now, aside the power of God, the next glory will go to my mom.
Thank you, moms. You are wonderful. You are amazing. I can
Yeah.
say the same thing over and over again. I am a result of my mom's belief, definitely. So thank you for sharing with us on that. If you could change what I want to add it, if you could change one thing on the educational system in Ghana as a whole, like if there's something you could change, what could that be?
Politicization of the educational sector. Look, I don't know. I know of when you come to Ghana, one of our greatest challenge when it comes to the education sector is the politicization of the educational sector. This government will come, they have their own policy about the educational sector. Another government will come, they have different view about educational sector. So this is a great challenge that is really um, facing the educational sector in Ghana. And then I'm very hopeful. I think that if we can take away politics out of education, education will be great again in Ghana.
Wow, I love that. Take away politics. It's therefore to edify the youth, not to make the youth order the politics of the politicians of tomorrow.
Look,
Definitely love that input.
yeah, what I really mean is that you know, we need to allow the experts to have clear direction for the educational sector. We should allow the technocrats to control it rather than the politicians. Politicians think about the next, how to win next election. They don't think about how to best mold the next generation. If it will fetch them a vote, whether it is good or bad, they will tend to implement it because it will fetch them vote. But the technocrats knows they take decisions based on research. Politicians take decisions based on next election. So if it will be allowed, if the educational sector will be allowed for the allow for the technocrats to fully take over, I know that we cannot undermine, we cannot take the role that governments play in the educational sector, but the over influence is the greatest challenge that I'm hoping that one day we take it out.
Wow, thank you so much for that input. And our next question is, what is success for you as a teacher?
Success. The definition for success may be different from different people, but for
Yes.
me as a teacher, success is seeing that I've made an impact in my students. That is all. Learning has taken place in my students. A change has taken place. A transformation has taken place in my students. They are better than the way I meet them. They are better than the way they've come into my hand. That is all what I mean. If anything of that sort happen, I have achieved success.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing on that. And you definitely said it right. Success differs according to who is defining it, and your definition was just so amazing. So, our next question we have for you today is what is the most surprising thing? I know you've been in the teaching field for less than a year now, but what is the most surprising thing you did not know and that you discovered once you were in the field as a teacher in Ghana?
um, Most surprising thing, you know, um, one thing I will say is some people think that um, um some people may so if you are outside the teaching profession, you may not understand some of the things better. Like the politicization issue that I am talking about. The teacher is in the classroom. He is the one trying to carry out whatever policy that you bring. So it baffles my mind how, like, if these teachers tend to bring out, I mean, we're supposed to be listening to the teachers. They are one of the greatest stakeholders that we cannot undermine when it comes to policy formulation. But I was really surprised that most of the times the politicians, they don't even involve the teachers when it comes to decision making. And then you'll be in the classroom and then you see that they will prepare policy and they can put it in on your head that you should implement. How would that be possible? It can't. So that's initially, before I joined the teaching profession, I thought that, oh, since they are one of the greatest stakeholders, they may really consider them. But unfortunately, um, that is, it seems like that's not the case. But they may be invited, but usually their decisions are not taken.
Wow, thank you so much for that input. The teacher is really, they are the one who have to take the decision because they are the one on the field and doing the job. I definitely agree
Exactly.
with you on that point. So our next question is, what advice can you give to a youth now that is listening to you, or a young person that wants to be a teacher, or let it be an adult, they want to be a teacher, and what advice can you give them?
Okay, my advice is that my mother is a farmer. My mother has never been to school before. And today, by the grace of God and by her help, now I am a teacher by profession. And currently, I've just finished my master's degree and I'm hoping to even pursue to higher level. So the little advice that I'll give to these young ones is that the only thing that can bridge the gap between the poor and the rich is education. That is the only thing that can bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. So if they get the opportunity to go to school, they shouldn't take it for granted, but they should take it wholeheartedly. Yeah, that's the little advice that I have for them.
Thank you so much. If you have the opportunity, guys, to go to school, don't take it for granted. Really go to school and focus on it. Those were the word of Mr. Asante, and you will thank him tomorrow for that decision. So, before we close this podcast, I want you to tell one advice to anybody listening to us. Let it, no matter what field you want to take, what is the advice you want to leave them with today?
One advice that I will leave with anyone or anyone watching us or that will be watching us is in anything that you do, we should take away the desire for money out of it. Go for work it out, and later money will be a reward for you.
Thank
There are a lot of internship programs that I have, volunteerism programs that I intentionally embark on. I've been and I'm currently with Amnesty International. I've been and I've currently been with Amnesty International. We've been doing volunteerism work. Currently, by the grace of God, I am the director of Agricodeexpo in Ghana. And then aside that one, we have a lot of, I'm part of several NGOs that we do carry a lot of volunteerism work. And most of them are not, they don't even pay. But in all, there is one thing that you can never do away, which is the experience. You are going to learn invaluable lessons. So whenever you get any opportunity, try to jump on it and then make good use of it. And later the reward will come. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that advice. He talked about, guys, volunteering, volunteer. Don't think about the money first, but think about the rewards you can get, the training and everything else. Thank you so much for those wise words, Miss Asante. And yes, thank you. And now we come to the end of this podcast. Thank you for being our guest, Mr. Asante. You were a wonderful guest, and we'd love to have you on board. Guys, we come to the end of this program. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to be a guest, do not hesitate to contact us. We'd love to have you as a guest. This was episode 21, and goodbye, guys.
Bye.